want to declare this training for all guild leaders in Uganda officially open for God and my country.
So we applaud you for being part of this empowering youth leadership training workshop. And as UNDP, we commit our continuous support to ensure that young people play their role in Uganda's development agenda, as has been laid out in the National Development Plan.
Experienced and well-sharpened professors taking us through various fields from self-discipline to self-leadership to harnessing the skills and navigating the markets. It's really a beautiful feeling. It's not only impacting on the knowledgeable bit of it, but also the shared experiences give us a hope that it's actually possible to get into these spaces and create an impact on society.
We remain fully committed to producing more creative leaders with a better grasp of their capacity and potential, in addition to being grounded in ideology.
Day 2 was just generally good.
As a leader, one of our roles is to analyze how conflict emerges.
I'm very sure by the end of this discussion, you will be pimped up. You'll go telling your friends, I'm emotionally intelligent.
I'm talking about today is the fact that I should learn how to control my emotions. That was in the second session of emotional intelligence, how to have an effective speech, and then how to manage conflicts. That was conflict resolution.
I've learned that we can't be effective leaders for others if we don't know how to lead ourselves. So it all begins with us managing ourselves, leading ourselves effectively, and that can be transferred to leading others effectively.
There's a lot that we are learning, and there's a lot that we've identified that as leaders probably have not done. And I believe at the end of this training, we shall be in a position to move out and do better than we have been doing as leaders of this great nation.
There is no managerial courage without emotional courage.
As a young leader, from this training, I would urge them, they need to be the change they need to see in this world. So it all starts with you.
I can say I've more than met my expectations. I've made friends, I've learned quite a lot, and the journey has been very, very good. The 2 days have been amazing.
It is your duty to create a Uganda that is better than the Uganda you found.
We are training young people because we want to change the world. When we train them at an early age, they pick the concepts, they pick the ideas, they build ideology and philosophy to be able to perform and do better.
It's a wonderful experience because I've learned a number of things from here, but the key aspect I personally that I've achieved is the mindset change.
This training has surely showed us that we have the potential, but we have not realized the potential we have in us.
Being part of this training is a blessing for me because I have had the opportunity to be taken through quite a number of modules about leadership.
One of the speakers once said that, yes, the future belongs to the young, but it only belongs to the young who fight for it.
I think this training is important to every young leader out there.
And I can only wish that it is taken down to the other institutions so that the leadership gets to benefit from such training.
I believe this is one of the greatest platforms. How I wish everyone could get this opportunity to be here, because the knowledge we are taking on, that package, it is gold.
Culture influences the way we think, act, and our confidence.
One big thing I'm taking away is conscious approach of resolving things.
Julius Nyerere's story
hit me a lot, and it showed me how a true leader should be.
We cannot do away with conflict, but we have to learn on how to manage it.
This kind of training is important to open up our eyes and know how our forefathers, if I'm to say, have been and have been taking on their leadership, and how we should change it, we as the young generation.
Mentorships that we have been getting are not only for the ears says. No, we have seen even. We have been having talks. We have recently talked to the ambassador of African Union, and who was recent. But all those talks have impacted effectively.
With the knowledge that I am carrying from this place, with the training, with the personalities that I have experienced and shared with, I believe that I can go out there and become a better person.
This training has been able to expose them that there is more beyond yourself when it comes to leadership. Leadership is all about understanding, listening, and leadership all about implementing collective views that you've all agreed as one to then be able to move forward as a solid team.
I would like to thank the Julius Nyerere Leadership Center and its partners for putting to play this kind of leadership training.
The Julius Nyerere Leadership Center, as I said at the beginning when we started, had 3 ambitious objectives. And one of the objectives is this, the training.
I really want to appreciate your dedication for all these 5 days that you have gone through the leadership training.
What spaces are you occupying and what buttons are you pressing to ensure that you create the condition that will allow you to do your job?
Who is a good leader in short?
Your role as a leader, you need to be present.
How do you make your decisions? And what considerations do you have?
As leaders at universities, we should always remember you are first a student before you are anything at campus.
Leadership is all about you living, understanding the problems that your people are facing, and then be able to create solutions around that and leading them into creating those solutions.
Don't put too much emphasis only on intelligence in the practical world.
Being exposed to a wide basin of knowledge that we are sharing here every day, every time, every hour, every second, surely. It's a good experience.
The advice I give to these young people, one is to go and action the information, action the ideas that they are getting from this training.
Personally, I've changed a lot because as a leader, first of all, you must have the self-awareness.
The persons that came on the first day are no longer now. There has been an elevation into knowing processes, an elevation of you knowing that you're a leader, but this is the way how things are supposed to be done.
I'm taking away quite a plethora of ideas and lessons, but most importantly, financial literacy, effective communication skills, emotional intelligence and in ethics, and then servant leadership.
The first step they've done, they've tried to show us that yes, you are young people, you are the stakeholders of this country in the next coming years.
It has given me exposure and I've networked.
People that are coming for the second cohort, I have one word for them, and that is they should come with an open mind, ready to receive from the trainers.
It's been a very insightful program, and I can't be more grateful.
I believe with this knowledge that I have achieved in this place, I have influence of more than 1,000 or 1,000,000 at the moment, and it can keep growing with more of such trainings.
Giving me a certificate of completion and participation, surely a very good thing for me. It's something that I've added up to my CV.
I describe this training to be productive, reasonable leadership training.
I salute UNDP and I thank UNDP for coming in at just the right moment. And finally, I think this is ready to be rolled out to an even bigger crowd. I am hopeful that having successfully completed Cohort 1 training, that we will have an equal success with Cohort 2.
I was really delighted when I got that first phone call and I was like, you are ready to be here on Monday. I was very happy because I know it was open, but a few of us were selected.
So being part of the second cohort is, for me, it is a life-changing moment.
As a leader, you must be aware of the environment and think quickly and appropriately on how best to address the situation.
If you perceive yourself as a leader who can achieve results, you will achieve results.
As a generation, you're supposed to fulfill it or you betray it. Today, I realized that as leaders, we're supposed to know the way, go the way, and show the way. And that was the major quote that stood out for me.
I expected to add on what I have, basically my leadership skills. Yes, I expected to meet impactful people, and of course I've met them.
Until you as a leader, you get to understand that it's not only about you, but the people in charge of you.
I know I've fully represented my institution. At the same time, I've represented the youth I lead in my community. And I'll be able to implement what I've learned here and also learn more as the session keeps going on.
Delighted to be part of this leadership training. Big thanks to the Julius Nyerere Leadership Center and UNDP, together with Makerere University and UMI, for organizing for our generation.
Nyerere was highly intelligent. He understood that it was important to develop Africa.
So as young leaders, your role is not just to become better, but to impact on those around you.
In one of the trainings, right from yesterday, the facilitators encouraged us to be very humble people. Just because the subjects maybe have really said a lot, it doesn't mean that you should also add salt to the soup that is already burning up.
I'm taking away that as leaders, we need to set values on which we run our lives. And when you have values, people tend to know what to expect from you.
I feel transformed and impacted. In fact, this training has been a transforming ground for me as a leader, because I've got a lot that I have to go back and share with my fellow leaders.
I feel blessed to be part of this second cohort because I've learned a lot of things.
It's a blessing to be here, and how I wish one day I would come back to this training to celebrate what is added to my life.
My purpose is serving students before myself.
What inspires my leadership is the passion for our cause, always wanting to help out all other leaders out there and fellow students such that we can all promote inclusivity and equity.
I come from a family that has presumably built those leaders that I look up to, and so I would love to follow in their footsteps. But even in the arrangement that we look at in university, there's a gap for leadership. And when I sense the gap, there must be someone to stand up, because you can't leave it in vacuum.
We have seen that most of the organizations and different people are aspiring for the girl child, and the boy child is being left out. Right now we live in a very digital world, and as someone who is fascinated by digitalization, I feel like people should be empowered with digital skills so that they can enhance themselves in the digital era.
People that have met, the people that have seen, the people that have interacted with, this is a brilliant, a cream of leadership that is going to magnify the Uganda that we want to see in the future.
Everything rises or falls because of leadership. The Julius Nyerere Leadership Center organized this Guild Leaders Training to empower the next breed of leaders with self-leadership, servant leadership, and leadership that is ethical. So we have been able to cover aspects that deal with the cognitive, the physical, the spiritual, and the socio-economic.
Social media provides us a unique opportunity as young people, and that opportunity is to reach as many people with the least amount of resources as we can.
I believe if we leverage social media as a tool for information for students, we can use it in the best way possible to ease on policy understanding.
Information that is availed to the internet, and as long as it is availed out and made accessible to young people, in and itself can be very, very crucial and useful if young people want to make impact, because one, realize that you have a basis of the information you need to capitalize on something.
I've got a chance to be taught by a number of expertise, a lot of facilitators who have impacted knowledge, understanding about leadership.
These are the kind of leaders that will lead Uganda to the next level and also create the Africa that we want.
I believe the young leaders have been empowered. I believe you have been motivated, and you are even more confident.
May we continue to propagate Mwalimu Julius Nyerere's legacy. It does not be a generation which just laments and it does not transform.
The sessions has been engaging because there are other points of reflections where we are allowed to speak on a subject of discussion, and then we are also given time to ask questions where the facilitators will speak back to us, and those moments of breakout sessions where we would discuss in groups has been tremendous.
We have learned a variety, a plethora of theories around leadership, the finances, emotional intelligence, and I think that is my major pick away from this leadership training.
I've been able to equip myself with new knowledge. I've learned, I've unlearned, and I've relearned. I've gained different knowledge on different aspects. Number one, to deal with the art of self-leadership, which is servant leadership. Then I've also learned different knowledge on financial literacy and financial intelligence.
A better analysis as to why this has been the best leadership training I've ever got is that one, I did not know that even at a guild level, you can still lobby and do something impactful for the people that elected you.
I'm proud of having been able to attend this session. Reason being is that it was more practical. At some point, they were engaging, they were concerned. I liked the time which they always gave to us in the QA, question and answer session, and I was always happy that they would answer, they would take liberty to answer us back.
Would love to engage with leaders from other countries that are in East African community.
I feel like I have a value which has been added on to me. I feel like I'm unique right now from the other leaders before me, and I feel like I'm going to impact my community differently.
The training was very relevant. I think it's a fundamental story of my life that I can't dwell with for the week that was spent here.
My expectations in terms of quality in organizing excellence, and then the presentation has been outstanding.
I want to thank you, the emerging leaders, the leaders at our various universities, for participating in this. And I think with this kind of training and initiatives, we will have better leadership at our universities.